Hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video. This weekend is went crazy. Me selling at the flea market. Done good, so I'm glad I done it. But yeah, I've been getting a lot of comments. The population. There's too many people in the world, and there's not enough game. If something was happening, the game would be wiped out. No, it wouldn't. For the simple fact, if an SHTF situation happened, a lot of people wouldn't come out of their homes because they'd be afraid and therefore they would starve to death. A lot of people, the population would decrease dramatically here in the United States. I think there's like what, 300,000 people? I mean 300 million people in the United States. What is a quarter of that is elderly and babies and small kids and toddlers, and you know they would be one of the first ones to die because they don't have the formula, they don't have the medicine they need. It's a harsh thing to say, but that is reality. you know and there's a lot of parents out there would want to eat before feeding their babies. And me, on the other hand, my kids eat before I eat, but a lot of parents ain't that way. They want to eat because they think, oh, I need it to keep going, and they'll let their babies, starve to death. If you don't think that's true, just look at all the child abuse cases, and I just let that stand on fact right there. But getting to the point of you know, people are saying, "Oh, they'll run out to the woods and they'll do this and they'll do that and they'll just wipe out the animal populations." Look at the Great Depression. Yes, let's take a look at the Great Depression. A 6-year-old child back in the Great Depression had more homesteading skills, more gardening skills, more fishing, hunting skills than a 30-year-old person today. Do you actually think these skinny jean, purple high top wearing guys, protesters, would go out and actually hunt? Do you even think they know how to use a gun or a bow? Then you take these hairy armpit, hairy leg, wannabe looking women protesting, I'm a vegan, I won't kill an animal. They would much rather starve to death than harm an animal to survive because they're programmed that way. So, and there's quite a few people like that out there. I mean, there's quite a few. So that's going to cut the population down. Then you're going to get the the killings, random murders and home invasions. You know, within a month's time, our population is going to be cut over half in a SHTF situation. I'm talking like an EMP, a nuclear strike, something that shuts the government down, shuts everything down. Our population would be, I say, cut in half within a month's time. Then on top of that, you got the disease. You know, you've got a lot of things to consider. People's just not going to get up one day, oh, I'm going to walk 20 or 30 miles into the mountains and hunt. They might walk 20 or 30 miles, but when they get there, they're not going to return because they're going to get ate by a mountain lion, or they're going to get attacked by a bear. They're going to get attacked by wild pigs. They're going to walk somewhere and a snake's going to get them. Let it be a copperhead, a water moccasin, a rattlesnake. Down in the swamps, they're going to walk and a damn alligator's going to get them. Because a lot of people that live in the city don't have enough common sense to know what to do out in the woods. Then, another fact. What is around your cities? What does almost all big cities have when it comes to animals? They have zoos. They have petting zoos. Do you not think people in those big cities will go and, think, I think I want an elephant steak, or I want a zebra burger, or I want a giraffe steak. Those animals in those zoos and these little petting zoos, they're going to get hit first. Then these farmers that has cattle, cattle ranches, sheep and goats and big chicken farmers and stuff like that, they're going to get hit as well. And that's even before anybody thinks about going out into the woods. And by that, our population is going to be dramatically cut. Then, if you get out into the woods, you're taking a chance of the people who's already living there, whose life is dependent on the game because they know how to preserve it and they know to go out and kill one or two and not kill and kill and kill until everything's wiped out. Those people are not going to let the other people come in and just wipe their game out. They're going to retaliate against them. Now I'm gonna have guys, well, if there's 100 city folks coming in there, well, they might be 100 city folks coming in there, and they might only be 10 coming out, because you're gonna these people who's going to be dependent on that is going to have booby traps, is going to have tripwires, they're going to have deadfalls, they're going to have spike pits in order to keep people out of the area. But everybody is fixated on, we're going to run out of animals if something happens within a month or two. No, we're not. The animal population will be depleted somewhat. Yes, I do agree on that. But it won't be wiped out. You will be able to survive. The fish ain't going to go away. And now I'm going to hear guys, well, there's dead spots in the sea. Okay, they might be a dead spot in a couple parts of the sea, maybe 100 miles long. How wide and how deep is the ocean? So those little dead spots really don't matter in the long run. Um, it's this debate I can go on and go on and go on with. We're not going to run out of wild game resources because the human population is going to be dramatically decreased due to humans. Humans are going to be the one decreasing the human population way before they start decreasing the animal population. Like I said, there are going to be deaths, there are going to be murders, there are going to be starvation, there are going to be people, like I said, these protesters. I'm a vegan, I'm not going to eat meat. And they will starve to death before they kill an animal in order to live. Because they're programmed. And there's so many people out there like that. And, everybody, and all I hear is, well, look at the Great Depression. Again, like I said, a 6-year-old back then had more homesteading and gardening and surviving and hunting and fishing than most 30-year-olds do today. You can't compare this generation, the people living today, to the people living back then. Because the people living back then, a lot of them had common sense and survival skills. Most people nowadays, there's just a handful of us out here. The ones who preps and learn survival stuff. We are going to be the ones surviving. We're going to be the ones out there making it. These other people who don't have a clue on prepping, don't have a clue on hunting or fishing or trapping or gardening, they're going to wind up dead because they're going to come and they're going to raid our places and they're going to get killed. Or they think they're going to go out into the deep mountains and they're going to get ate up by wolves or mountain lions or, a moose. Mooses are deadly and they're going to wind up getting killed. Yes, I will say our animal population will deplete. Squirrels and rabbits, little stuff like that. And Deer population may go down some, but if you just got to look in the areas you are. There's more animals out there than rabbits and squirrels and deer. There's That's what people focus on. And there's tons of other animals, birds, reptiles that can be ate. Look at Florida. That place is ate up with gators down there, and those big, um, what are they, boas or pythons that's gotten loose, and they have now Florida has put um, a hunting season on them because they're so big down there. You kill a 16-foot long boa or a python or an anaconda, whatever it is, you chop it up, you got some good steak. Let me see this. Snake steaks. Damn, say that 10 times fast. That's plenty of food right there to feed a lot of people. But guys, you're going to have to stop thinking the deer, rabbits, squirrels, they are tons of other animals. And we will wipe out the human race before we wipe out the animals. That's just human nature. I mean, the animals will make it in a doomsday scenario a lot longer than the human race will. But yeah, I'm gonna get some comments. Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. That's your guys' opinion. I look at the facts, and I do not compare the people alive today to the ones alive back in the Depression. Yes, they were deaths in the Depression. Yes, they were starvation in the Depression. Yes, because in some areas the game did get wiped out. Yes, it did. But a lot of people survived by moving. They turned into nomads and they followed the games like the Indians did. They followed the game and they made it. That's what would have to happen. You would have to watch how much you killed in the areas, then move on to another area so you do not, you know, wipe them out. And I'm going to have people, well, people ain't going to think that. The smart people will be. I'm not worried about these other people because they're going to be wiped slap out. The ones that's retarded and stupid and ignorant and with no common sense, they're going to be the ones wiped out. The people who prep and do survival and that are prepared, we know better. We know better, and we are the ones who's going to come out on top. These other losers, they're the ones going to be feeding the animals. The coyotes and the dog packs and the rats and whatever. You know, when they drop dead, the animals are going to feast on them. But guys, just take a look around your area. There are so many animals besides deer and rabbits and squirrels. Again, if something happens, almost all major cities has zoos, big zoos. Do you think there are people going to go in there and shoot elephants, rhinos, you know, apes, whatever's in there, they're going to shoot and they're going to eat. Then you got these cattle ranches, you got these sheep ranches, you got these goat ranches. Hell, there are even big llama ranches around here. You think people's not going to kill a llama? Or these horse ranches, when they get hungry, people's going to shoot the horses too. People don't think about that. They just think, oh, going to go out into the woods. They might go out into the woods, but they might go. That's no sign they're going to return. Because when like in my area here, if something was to happen, I've got about 4 or 5, maybe 600 acres in right behind me, all back through here and everything like that. Do you think I'm going to let somebody come in here and camp in the middle of that and start wiping out the game? No. I'm going to set booby traps. I'm going to set trip wires. I'm going to set deadfalls. When they hit it, it's going to kill them, or it's going to bust them up, and they're going to lay there and die. You know, and that's a lot of mindset people is going to have. You come and you try to get from me, we're going to take you out. And honestly, that's the mindset you're going to have to get. Even to your garden, when you plant your garden, you're going to have the mindset to kill over that garden, because if you allow somebody to come in and steal from you, you're basically letting them steal from your babies, or letting them steal. You're going to starve while they eat. And I'd much rather them starve and me and my babies eat. But guys, just tell me what you think. I'm going to get off here and rest for a while. But until the next one, everybody be safe. Bye for now.